If you were watching the World Series this year, you might have seen this ad.
As Canada faces economic uncertainty, we have a plan to secure our future, and it starts in the Ring of Fire.
A massive mineral development project in the province's north that, according to the ad, will create 70,000 jobs and protect us from tariffs. The Ring of Fire sits in the remote James Bay lowlands that's only accessible through air and winter ice roads. Beneath these wetlands are deposits of chromite, copper, nickel, platinum, and titanium, metals that power everything from stainless steel to electric vehicle batteries. So I wondered, is this why we've been seeing OINP draws for Northern Ontario? Have we started getting our hands on these minerals?
Don't snap your fingers, and the metals and the minerals are ready for the taking.
How long does it take, Elizabeth?
On average, about 17 years.
17 years.
Okay, so there's a lot that needs to happen before minerals are extracted. Right now, consultations and assessments are underway. After that's done, roads have to be built before any mine can even break ground. And mining always sparks a debate. If we accept a future with EVs, we have to accept mining as a part of it. So then the question becomes, do we buy these minerals or do we dig in our own backyard? Proponents of digging in our own backyard say that it's more environmentally effective to do it here than touch sensitive ecosystems like in countries like Indonesia or Philippines, or support human rights issues in other countries where mining occurs. Now, the James Bay lowlands themselves are part of the Hudson Bay lowlands, which store about 1/3 as much carbon as the Amazon rainforest. So if we were to dig here, will we disturb that?
Eagle's Nest deposit that we're talking about, that starts at surface. It's quite narrow. It goes straight down, and the footprint is minimal. There can be no comparison to the oil sands.
What's interesting about the environmental assessments this time is who's leading them. Indigenous communities like the Webekwe and Martin Falls are guiding the environmental assessments themselves. A friend of mine who works with the Indigenous community, she's a lawyer, she said something that stuck with me. She said many times when she talks to them, they think about the effects of their decisions 7 generations down the line, not just the next few years, not even just the next few decades, but 7 generations down the line. Now, not all First Nations view the projects the same way. The Webekwe are supportive of the project and recently signed an agreement to begin road building. Martin Falls has generally been supportive, but is now wary of the provincial and federal bills that could fast-track development in a manner that they think could compromise the consultation process. Attawapiskat is concerned about downstream water impacts from the mines running off into the Attawapiskat River. And the Neskantaga don't feel they've been consulted effectively and think that clean water and reliable power should be addressed before clearing ways for new mines. And that may sound confusing to hear these different perspectives, but that diversity of view is healthy. I grew up in a community where sometimes we were trying to have a united view, but in turn, that created more divisions because people felt they couldn't say what was on their mind and they had to force alignment. And we live in a democracy. One of the best things about living in a democracy is that we don't need to always agree. Take a look at this video from the agenda.
But anyway, J.P. Gledu has been a guest on this program before. He's an Anishinaabe and principal at Mokwate Limited. It's a consultancy that's bringing Indigenous communities and the business sector together. And we talked with him about all of this and one thing in particular, which is what we're going to hit on next. Sheldon, the clip, if you would.
We're not a monolith. Our communities have different socioeconomic backgrounds and aspirations, and we don't all get along all the time. We're just like any culture. We'll have the 20% for, 20% against, and the percentage in the middle that are trying to figure out which side they sit on. I mean, typically what's happening these days is we're required for 100% consensus.
And JP is absolutely right. No community can achieve 100% consensus. It's a bit unfair for any of us to expect that from the Indigenous community. As an immigrant, I've felt paralyzed for a long time when I think about what we could do to support Indigenous communities for all the challenges they face today and the painful history behind them. What gives me hope about the Ring of Fire is that there is a chance to write new chapters together, chapters of economic reconciliation built on respect and a partnership. Many of the communities nearby, unfortunately, still rely on diesel for power, and some live with boil water advisories. They can't just simply turn on the tap to get clean running water. Beyond environmental assessments, reconciliation must mean economic mobility. It must mean building infrastructure, access to clean water and energy, housing, and training to be a part of the economic benefit of this project. The province says the Ring of Fire could bring contracts and jobs for Indigenous-led businesses. They've committed to training, job creation, and a $3 billion loan guarantee program for Indigenous businesses to access funding for infrastructure projects. Lead company Ring of Fire Metals is a subsidiary of Australia's Wailu Metals and has committed to awarding $100 million in contracts to Indigenous-led businesses. Canada today has a history of extracting raw materials and exporting them, only to buy them back as finished products at a premium. One of the opportunities here is not just to extract, but to process these metals here at home. Unfortunately, we have some capabilities already in Sudbury and Timmins to do this, and some of that could be leveraged, and in other cases, we're going to have to build more processing facilities. And that's how not just the region benefits, but the broader Ontario economy. So, are the immigration draws in Northern Ontario happening because of the Ring of Fire? No, at least not yet. That would be false hype. But as the project progresses, there could be some targeted draws for construction or for processing, people with processing experience and capabilities. The real win here, though, is finding a path that truly benefits the Indigenous community who've safeguarded this land for generations. We can't change the past, but we can change how the future chapters are written.